and welcome to this week's video. I'm Madison and Halloween is coming up, thus why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed. I even have a tail! I know, I'm endearing. As you can see from this video's title, I'm going to share with you my top 10 OTPs and ships of all time. Now, I'm not going to tell you whether or not the ships that I'm about to list are canon or not, because if you're planning on watching one of the shows that I'll name, I don't want to ruin it or potentially make it better, I don't know, by telling you who ends up with who, blah blah blah. So I'm not going to tell you whether or not these are canon, just that I ship them. That's one of the joys of shipping. Doesn't matter if it's canon or not. We're gonna start off this list with the OG OTP from my childhood especially. Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable from Disney Channel's Kim Possible. I adore these two. They subvert expectations, and it's one of the best examples of a strong female lead with her klutzy male sidekick and having that combination work really well. And yeah, everyone loves KP and Ron. They are just amazing, and as I said, they are the OG OTP, one of the first ever couples that I think people my age, around my age, or part of that generation, that this was the first couple that we really started to desire to see them be together. It was our first foray into shipping. Coming in at number 9 is another cartoon, Danny Phantom, Danny and Sam. These two are best friends, and you can tell by the way that they treat each other, they respect each other, they always have each other's backs, and they're just a really fun combination. Danny, the half boy, half phantom, and Sam, the possible start of your potential goth girl obsession. Sam is awesome, and Danny is also awesome, so it just makes sense to ship them. Before I continue with this list, I wanted to share some honorable mentions. I might get some flack for this, but Twilight Sparkle and Flash Sentry from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of the ships because you guys can go and do that on your own, but I really liked the dynamic between Twilight Sparkle and Flash. It's just kind of that awkward, not quite sure what you're doing vibe, and to me, it's really super endearing. Oh, and Toru from Fruits Baskets. I have not seen the remake of it yet, and I really want to, but when I first watched the original anime back in whatever time that was, I loved the dynamic between Kyo and Toru. I just found them really complimentary and really fun to watch. Zlink from Legend of Zelda, which is Zelda and Link. Again, there are a lot of different ships for any of these, so you don't have to agree with me, you don't have to disagree with me. This is just my list of major ships. Anyway, we'll just throw that in there randomly. I grew up watching my uncle play Legend of Zelda. I really didn't start shipping Zelda and Link until early 20s. I really didn't care about shipping back then, but for sentimental reasons, for nostalgia's sake, I had to have Legend of Zelda in here somewhere. Eristu and Cam, these are characters from the show Bones, which I'm currently watching, and it's interesting because the first time I watched Bones, I really didn't pick up on anything between Eristu and Cam as far as I can remember, but watching it again, I was picking up on something. So I started to really ship them super hard. Also, I haven't even finished Bones all the way through, so there you go. Finally, our last honorable mention that I have to mention because it's me and I'm kind of establishing myself as a giant Lovely Complex fan. Koizumi and Otani from Lovely Complex. Da-da-da! I have to mention them. It is my duty and my honor to mention them. To mention them in almost every single one of my videos. It's just how it works. Back to the list. Coming in at number 8 is Zayd, or Zoe and Wade from Heart of Dixie. I love Heart of Dixie. It's a silly show that has lots of bright colors, some pretty good country music, and just an all-around feel-good show that you can watch just for some light watching. And ever since Wade Kinsella was introduced, I fell in love, which I think is a common sentiment in the Heart of Dixie fandom. I don't know, I haven't met that many Heart of Dixie fans, but I just love Zoe and Wade. I think they complement each other really well. And I will say this without giving any spoilers, Zoe does encourage Wade to be better, and I think it's really endearing. I didn't say endearing because I'm wearing a dairy costume, but that's what happened. Number 7 is Niles and Daphne from Frasier. This might seem like a out of left field ship to include, because when you think ships, you don't think of the show Frasier. For those of you who have no idea what Frasier is, go look it up. But my mom and I are currently watching Frasier in full, and I just love Niles and Daphne. First of all, Niles is my favorite character in the show, but secondly, his just utter buffoonery that he makes of himself whenever Daphne is around, and just that total admiration he has for her is super endearing. Oh my gosh, that's the word of this video, endearing. It's just really endearing and really funny, and I love Niles and Daphne. Coming in at number 6 is Jess and Nick from New Girl. Fun fact, the director, I believe, actually had Zooey Deschanel and Jake Johnson try not to physically touch each other in the first season at all, because the two actors had so much chemistry and they didn't want viewers to think that they were going to spontaneously combust in a passionate manner at any given moment. But I think that it's that held back chemistry that they have that make them an especially alluring pair to ship. Drum roll please, because now we enter my top 5 ships / OTPs. Coming in at number 5 is Strictlake, which is actually one of the newer additions to this list. Strictlake are two characters from Troll Hunters, Tales of Arcadia. It is Stricklander and Barbara Lake, and they're fun. Barbara doesn't take any crap from him, and he just kind of lets her. And I have a soft spot for guys, or at least for the sort of trope of like the bad person willing to be good for the good person, and that's kind of this dynamic as well, and I'm just a sucker for it and I love it. And also, Troll Hunters is a really good show. Please watch it, it's on Netflix. Coming in at number 4 is Shamey, or Sheldon and Amy from The Big Bang Theory, and I know that there are a fair amount of criticisms, and rightly so, about Sheldon's character and Amy's character, and even towards the romances in The Big Bang Theory in general, but I really love Sheldon and Amy. I love the changes both of them made, which were ultimately positive in my opinion, for the sake of each other, and Amy is just endearing. Sheldon's kind of annoying, but he's made a little less annoying with Amy, so I don't know. I just really like these two, and I actually would have listed them as number 1, but they've been knocked down to number 4, so, and boom boom boom, who are our top 3? 3 and 2 have been switching back and forth since I created this list. Gotta be able to see my face, my beautiful face. So I'm not really sure which order to put them, so we'll just say 3 and 2. Kage Hina, or Kageyama and Hinata from Haikyuu. I have an entire video where I just fangirl over the entire show, and one of the reasons that I really like the show is all the various ships that you can get out of it. My favorite ship, obviously, is Kage Hina, and I just love their dynamic. They're so fun. It's super enjoyable to watch, and they're my favorite ship. I have lots of other ships in that show, but they're my favorite. The other one that kind of swaps with Kage Hina is Lucanet. Okay, this is probably the spiciest opinion on this list because it really depends on where you go, but you will either get a lot of support for Lucanet or a lot of hate for Lucanet. So Lucanet are Luca and Marinette from the show Miraculous Ladybug, or Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Really depends on what you want to say. If you know anything about Miraculous, you would know that there's something called a love square. And the love square is probably the most shipped love square of the show. And for those of us who slip out of it, it's a wee bit spicy. But personally for me, I just find Lucanet really good first step. I'm not gonna fight with Endgame because everyone knows the Endgame, but I think Lucanet would be a really good first time, like not necessarily first love, but a good first romantic relationship, especially for Marinette. I think rather than I have entire blog posts about this, but for me, I think if you're gonna use Luca as a plot device, it should be for the sake of Marinette's character development and not for the stupid, hey, here's this other guy flirting with this girl to get the main dude to realize his feelings for the main girl. Like, no, don't do my blueberry boy Luca like that. Just don't do it. But I really like Lucanet, and I know it's not gonna be Endgame, but personally, I just really like them way better than anyone else. Finally, the unveiling of my #1 OTP. I will give you 5 seconds to type your guess in the comments below of who you think my #1 ship is. Time is up. #1, Hickstrid. Hickstrid is Hiccup and Astrid from How to Train Your Dragon. I love these two. I think it is one of the best portrayals of a relationship, not saying what kind, but of a relationship in film, and especially for children's movies. They have such a healthy dynamic that they build each other up. They're team and partners first and foremost, and to me, that's just so nice to see because you don't get to see it that often. You don't get to see such a healthy relationship so emphasized, especially in kids shows. And Hickstrid is just fun to watch. They're really enjoyable, and that is my #1 ship. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know Halloween is in a couple days from the time that I post this video, so I'll say it right now. Happy early Halloween! I hope you guys enjoy your Halloween, whatever it is you're doing, even if it's something like me where you're just dressing up in a deer onesie and having some fun, or if you're just binging candy by yourself while you watch Hocus Pocus. Whatever you're going to do for Halloween this year, I hope it's a great one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button for notifications for every single time I post. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye! Personally, I like the horses. The horse's name? The horse. Just the horse. I like the horse. It's almost like forbidden love. I'm gonna take that out because it's not. No, I'm not gonna put that in. To mention them, and to mention Lovely Complex and almost every single one of it. It's on this side. Where's my other ear? Should probably wave with this hand so you can actually see it.